Constant Throb, I'm sorry.
Constant Throb.
Right?
Oh.
That's what we just watched, right? A Constant Throb.
Episode 10?
Isn't that the song from Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Constant Throb all through his days.
Hold on, let me make sure this episode is the right episode.
We just did 9.
Man,
We just did 9, so it must be 10.
I think we're on 10.
Okay.
There's only 2 episodes left.
Yeah, because
11
Hearst
and
and
12.
Okay, yeah, got it. All right, yeah, that's it.
So
All right.
we're on Constant Throb.
Yeah, Constant Throb.
We are men of constant throb.
Hi, and welcome to Anyways.
Where the
I'm
points are made up and the rules don't matter.
I'm Ben Seiler, and we talk about Deadwood on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Chad Barton, and this is
Oh,
also
no.
Ben Seiler.
Got the order mixed up. He should have been me.
No, there's no Jordan on this show.
There's no Jordan. I'm Stephen Teague.
What are we doing?
What happened this episode?
This week on Anyways, we watched a show called Deadwood.
The
Ben?
title of the episode was A Constant Throb.
Ben, what happened in this episode besides Con Stapleton's penis?
Oh, yeah,
and his camel toe.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we saw very clearly. In his
Yeah, do you think that
inseam
was
staple toe.
the actor's, Peter Jason's penis, or do you think it was a stunt
I'd
penis?
sooner
Those
see
were
that
his testicles,
than them
yeah.
be like, should we put something in there? And it's like, no, why?
No, it's just like he's got a big old nut sack. Let's just have him hang down
Yeah.
inside of his pants like
They're
that.
covered.
Yeah,
It's really the texture you don't want to see.
yeah. Was he also like smuggling a cucumber in his pants over there, or like what? Because it was weird looking.
Yeah.
Like off to the side.
We took all the right things away from this episode.
Well, let's go through what happened. What
All
happened?
right. Back at the start.
Oh yeah, before the cucumber.
Okay, so in this episode, Mrs. Ellsworth gets shot at
That's true. That's the main
in
thing.
the street, and the ripple effects of everything that happens surrounding that. Superhero Al Swearengen
Good Lord.
dives off the balcony
Good God.
to escort her to back into the gym.
Last time he took a tumble off the balcony like that, he broke 3 of his
Yeah.
ribs and
That's
ended
twice he's gone off that balcony because of her.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was pretty, I mean, you could argue that it was, not a selfless act completely.
Oh no, he
But-
doesn't want Hearst to take over all the fucking
Right,
gold
yeah,
claims
yeah.
and all this.
But it's like you kind of go like season 1. Would you have ever imagined
hell no.
him diving over
Episode
a balcony
1, no.
to save her from being gunshot?
No. This is still only like his second or third conversation with her, right?
Right, yeah. Right before it all happened, though, he did like kind of
Yeah.
tip his coffee cup to her, or his little
Right.
teacup. We find out that they hogtied Ellsworth because they knew he would
Rightfully.
be stupid
Yeah.
and run in and get shot.
Yeah.
Deadwood operates in the world where hitting someone in the head has no ill effects. They just
Yeah.
wake up a little bit later.
Yeah, there's no concussion or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. You just put some smelling salts under their nose and they just wake up. And
yeah. And Dan's not above carrying somebody fully conscious over his head, like
No, he was
arms and legs kicking like a turtle.
He just didn't have no damn time to waste on that shit.
Yeah.
So he just knocked Ellsworth out. and-
Yeah.
Dan sounded
Hogtied
very sage, almost like Al when he was giving Ellsworth.
Think about it.
They say the exact same thing, basically.
Yeah.
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 He's like, if you had reacted angrily to Hearst, you would have gotten yourself and others killed. So I'm going to I did the right thing by knocking you out.
And then Al says an abridged version upstairs to Mrs. Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like he's like, I know that you don't have a lot of reasons to trust me given our history,
Yeah.
but would you mind walking across to the bank by yourself anyway, just
Yeah.
to stick it to
Yeah.
him?
Don't let the terrorists win.
Exactly. I always look over here, and that's not my camera.
But it seems like
Yeah.
a kind of foolhardy, like, we're going to stick it to Hearst by having you walk unprotected.
Yeah.
Like she could
Well,
easily
but it
just-
wasn't exactly unprotected. Silas was out there.
Yeah, and Johnny
was
had a
out
gun
there.
under
And
his arm.
they're correct in what they assume is Hearst's plan.
It did, of course, it
But
also
she's the bait.
yeah.
And they're trying to draw out Bullock or Ellsworth.
it
Yeah.
resulted in Hearst being so frustrated that he took out his frustrations on EB.
Mm-hmm.
And
Spit in his face
And then,
twice
and then said, This
Like
this shit better be on your face next time
God
I
help
fucking
you
see
if
you.
I see you and you've cleaned yourself since this.
Right.
So maybe Hearst's deal is that he likes to dominate people and, you know, like to control others. And like, that's what his, insofar as Hearst is.
It's almost like his fetish or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's very upset that his messenger got killed in this episode, who, according to stuff online, is the messenger's name is Barrett. But we don't know that. He's just a head Pinkerton with a gray beard.
Yeah. He, after the Ellsworth thing, or after Mrs. Ellsworth thing, Hearst sends this guy over to Al's with a message.
Which is kind of like par for the course now. This has happened several times. Send a guy over with a message, and I'll fuck with Al. And Al is basically like, I'm fucking done with this.
Yeah.
Is like,
Well, it doesn't seem like a very good long-term plan because anybody he sends over there next would then be killed by Hearst. You know, he can't communicate with Hearst anymore, right?
Well, he doesn't want to communicate with Hearst anymore. There's nothing else to say. He knows he's sending 25 more guns. There's about to be 49 guns in town.
That's why he won't send Danny to, where is he trying to send him to?
Cheyenne or something, right?
Yeah.
He's continually trying to send stuff to Cheyenne, and the savior of this episode is the fact that Adams knows Hawkeye.
And for the second episode in a row, one of the henchmen gets punched directly in the face for saying something.
Yeah.
Apparently, we don't speak Hawkeye's name around here.
But Adams is confident Hawkeye will actually come with extra
what did
hired
happen
guns.
with Hawkeye? I forget now.
The problem is Hawkeye will always get drunk and be late and go hang out with this girl he knows named Kate.
Right.
But like when they're coming along, they basically say he vouches for Hawkeye. Hawkeye will be able to bring guns, and those guns will be able to kill. You know, he won't. It'll work out.
What episode did he leave the show?
Well,
I don't remember
because it's like
we never saw him leave, but he got in lots of trouble for being late.
Okay.
So therefore, he's I don't know. It's you don't know whether or not he is even on the show or if he has the ability to bring hired guns as told.
Speaking of things that I
Don't
couldn't
understand.
recall or remember, the lady that Langrishe talks to in this episode that I had to pause the episode and ask if I had an aneurysm and couldn't remember
I will
who this person was.
fully admit to the fact that I've seen the show 4 times now, and the
theater
plot
troupe
point is the thing I least understand.
Well, okay, the theater troupe. Again, I feel like I'm going to take away from his enjoyment of the theater troupe.
Don't tell me.
I mean, there's not much to tell. I mean,
That's what takes away from the enjoyment.
yeah, I don't know. Just trying to explain the theater troupe.
Well, it's I guess like what I gather from it is that this woman that we hear speak for the first time in this episode seems like.
Which woman do you first?
She said
the one who was at the amateur night, the woman.
Not
who
the juggler,
okay.
or not the dancer.
No, not the dancer lady.
But the lady that
the drawer, the
yeah.
one who's an artist.
I get the sense that she was hoping to like marry.
Well, I think going from this episode, and because nothing the theater troupe does ever sticks in memory, but like except for Brian Cox,
Because it seems so low stakes in comparison.
And you don't know
everything
these
else going
people,
on.
and you have never seen them
They're
before.
new.
You don't have like
And they all speak
3 years.
theatrically.
Sure, and I keep thinking like something is going to happen with this Con Stapleton having sex with this lady
with
thing.
Claudia, yeah.
And I mean, maybe it still might, but it's just been a long. I mean, there's been like 2 or 3 episodes.
The reason that Claudia was trying to have sex with Con Stapleton was to make Langrishe jealous, and she tears up when Langrishe talks about this woman. He's the younger woman who's been staying at Shaughnessy's. They're going to adopt her, and she's going to start staying with the theater.
Okay.
I think the implication is supposed to be the younger woman is his daughter, and she's Irish or she's European, and she's been in Paris, and she's the product of an earlier relationship. And I think that's what the implication is. And then the woman who's a painter is they make a reference to a sham that they're putting on, and so I think the reason she doesn't acknowledge she's the lover of him,
The painter
of Cox, of Langrishe, and then she's leaving. She gets her bags and leaves this episode because Langrishe is letting the other woman into and the other woman has just showed up. He just knows she's here, but she hasn't even told him, and she doesn't even really interested in talking to him. So, but she's followed him to this town in the middle of nowhere.
You talking about the painter just showed up?
The painter left. We saw her pack her bags, and Langrishe is talking to Claudia.
The dancer later at Shaughnessy.
Langrishe has 3 girlfriends, and though one of them may be his daughter.
I never got daughter from any of them.
I just assume because she's younger. But she's much younger, and he doesn't really know her.
But it's a theater troupe.
I think she's like a.
I think she's him bastard. As kind of predatory.
Yeah.
And the young new blood is coming in, and so he's jilting his previous squeeze.
And also Claudia, who really likes him.
But like he's doing it in a very like theatrical. I'm good at acting, so I come across like the good guy kind of way.
Right.
Well, no, but he when he talks to Painter Lady, who we previously saw sitting in the lobby of the restaurant in red and not acknowledging the theater troupe.
Yeah.
And we've had a conversation on Anyways before where we just I think
at the time I was like, should I know who this is? And you were like, no.
I was like, wait for it.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be so good.
But I think I don't think we spoil anything to say. The theater troupe is not a beloved part of the Deadwood season 3 experience. That's all I'm going to say.
I do know that much.
Okay.
I do know that people do not enjoy the theater troupe. I mean, so far I
speak from past experience.
So far I don't like have a problem with
the
theater
fine.
troupe stuff.
No.
And like Brian Cox is incredible. I'm glad he's on the show.
But it's just it's a little convoluted and over my head a little bit. Like
I don't think it's over your head. I think it's over anyone's head. It's
just hard to comprehend what's happening and why we should care.
I guess just because they needed more time to set things up,
and they were counting on their season 4 to pay it off.
Right, that's the other thing is like you just know that eventually it would make sense.
But I think we're all united in the sense that Langrishe is a ladies' man of a sort.
Sure,
so he may have.
Because he sees the dancer lady at the show and is immediately like, woo.
And that's when all his plans change.
No, the dancer lady, he has a prior relationship to, though. She knows who he is.
Really?
Yeah, from their conversation in Shaughnessy's, I think. I'll have to go look through the script, but not on this time.
Yeah, I thought it was just like here's my takeaway was my takeaway was that he had the
he just saw her and liked her. I may be mistaken.
Community night or whatever, and to feel out like talent they could use.
Yeah, and also hot chicks.
And then he found her.
Yeah.
And then he asked about the exotic woman staying at Shaughnessy's.
Right.
He found her, but I checked. Because she didn't have fans and stuff around her. Yeah. I didn't necessarily recognize that as her until about halfway through the scene.
Yeah. Just like I didn't recognize that was the drawing lady.
Who we saw one scene like 6 episodes ago.
Yeah, and we did see her reacting to the dancing lady.
Oh, okay.
In the sort of. I keep wanting to say community night.
Amateur night.
Whatever. Amateur
night.
Yeah. Like when she's dancing and he's going, it cuts to her going.
The drawing lady?
Yeah, looking at her.
God. Okay.
Yeah. But
I was supposed to get that. Okay.
Yeah. But you think that the woman that's sleeping with Khan is his daughter?
No. The woman sleeping with Khan likes Langrishe, and she's just trying to get him jealous. That's all.
Okay.
Who do you think is his
daughter?
Just think the Castanets fans lady is maybe his daughter because of the difference in age. But you may be right. Also, because she knows him and doesn't seem to be she seems to have a prior thing with him.
Oh.
And he doesn't really know her.
Yeah.
But that's all. And then the tragedy is that the lady in red, Painter Lady, takes her as a rival lover, but she's not. Okay. I think we've solved it.
But
it's great.
She's like presumptuous.
What?
I don't know. Yeah. Like she's playing him to be able to stay in the theater, and he's like, well, but he does seem like pissed at her.
Yeah. In
that scene, so that's weird.
Yeah. We'd have to go to the tape, and we don't have time.
We don't know why he's mad at the other guy.
we are also going to do like a series recap later, so we can kind of
it'll all make sense. After
research some of these things for later.
The movie's going to solve everything.
Also, this time, Doc, who again we've seen just a sliver of the season, but he's
a lunger.
He is feeling a little bit better. Because he yells at Tolliver for messing with his wound and self-mutilating.
Because he was checking for pus.
No, he wasn't.
He was trying to kill himself.
What?
He was.
He wasn't checking for pus?
Here's what he was doing.
You saw through his
he was throwing a tantrum because he didn't get his way in the Joni situation. So he went back to his room and started picking at his knife wound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just fucking die. Oh, and we got introduced to fan favorite in this episode. That's what it's like to interview to work at the Bella Union anymore.
Yeah. Someone just calls you stupid.
Your name's stupid.
Well, how about we call you stupid until we can figure something else out?
And you have to presume that $5 as an advance is such a large amount of money that she's just like, this is a great deal.
Yeah,
like, I mean, otherwise, everything he says to her.
She doesn't know if she should close the door or not, but she just lingers too long.
Well, she keeps doing this.
Yeah.
Over and over. Just keeps looking back out and then looking in.
Almost like he missed his cue.
She's sitting there. No, you're supposed to say that now.
And there's always these downtrodden prostitutes who get horribly treated by Cy Tolliver. And you're always like, well, maybe they're going to give the actor a moment of like dignity.
Who, Cy?
Yeah, some dignity when he's, like you just said, licking his lips like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
The most we can hope for with Cy is humanity.
Yes.
Which is just that he is capable of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And he has that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually meant the woman. Like, like, what does it mean to be a character whose only beats are to be beaten mercilessly? Like, I just feel like...
Yeah, like she is punching bag number 6 at the Bella Union.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that there may be more to that at some point. There's a thread that I want to bring up, which is everyone thinks Alma is hot shit, which I really love, which is like all we saw, I think the last episode, all the prostitutes at the gym are just like talking about...
Yeah, what is going on with this ongoing plot line with the back room of the prostitutes?
My impression, and I could be wrong, is that they're like kicking themselves for not trying to strike up a conversation with her. And they're kind of like, they just want to be friends with her.
They're starstruck. She's a celebrity. She's fucking awesome.
Sure.
She's a fancy lady.
Trixie gets to talk to her.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And they call
Why
Trixie...
wouldn't she talk to us?
They call Trixie that bank lady. Like, Trixie, they don't even think
they call Alma that bank lady.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Trixie talks to that bank lady.
Yeah,
right.
Trixie talks to the bank lady.
Yeah.
But there's also... Jewel gets really excited about serving her bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
She wants to see which one she eats from. Which plate.
And it's just lovely when Trixie is like, lies to her that she's eaten.
She ate from them both.
And she has this smile on her face when she's lying to her.
Yeah.
And I think Trixie's goal is to make fun of Jewel, maybe, but Jewel makes her day.
In the room, I think that is the goal, and then outside of the room, I think it's genuine.
Yeah. It's just to like make her feel nice.
Yeah. She did eat.
Yeah.
She did it.
She did cartwheels and it. Which place you eat from? She ate from a fucking boat. I'm gonna start saying it.
It's
as
good.
Past tense of to eat.
What about Hugo Jari? Didn't we have Hugo Jari? Was that...
The hell did he do this episode?
Didn't he talk to... Yeah, he definitely talked to Mr. Hearst.
Oh, yeah. Hearst told him it's time for you to go home because he thought he was insinuating a homosexual relationship.
Oh, God, I forgot about that with the Socrates thing and all that. Yeah.
He says, you keep calling yourself Alcibiades to my Socrates. Are you proposing some sort of homosexual connection between us?
And he's like...
I forgot that part of the story.
And then afterwards, he's like down on bended knee talking to him.
Yeah.
He
Well, it's the second time in the story where he doubles down on that. I think Al Swearengen had a similar thing where he's like, and he always says like, this would mutually benefit us both. Like he immediately doubles down on like the innuendo.
The innuendo or whatever the misinterpretation was.
He says,
he's like, no, but if that's what you glean from it, then perhaps my counter is this.
Yeah.
As you gaze upon me, sir, recall that some unions of convenience may outlast those conceived in passion.
It's time for you to go back to Yankton.
Anyway, and his purpose is to say, I have all these soldiers. They'll vote any way you want in the election. And I think Hearst is so disgusted by him because he's fawning that he then tells his man, the gray-headed Pinkerton, to convey to him how he wants the election to go. And I think that's what, even though it's not in the episode, I think that's what Bullock is doing in Sturgis, is election-related activities.
Because he would be
It's also good that he wasn't there because something would have popped off.
Yeah, but he'd be the sheriff of more than just Deadwood.
It would be more like a county thing?
No. I think, well, I'm confusing. Maybe I'm wrong. I just remember. I remember from my prior watching that when he does election things, he does certain things where he has to leave the camp to do those election things.
Huh. Could be. Maybe he just has to file paperwork somewhere or something.
Yeah. He has to make his X.
Yeah. I'm just looking.
Does Charlie Utter say Miss Stubbs?
No, but he looks up at her, and it's implied.
Oh yeah, there's an implied Miss Stubbs, and then and then you made the joke. She turns and goes to Jane and is like,
"Look who's out the window! Look, it's Charlie Utter."
They have a tender moment.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite speeches in this entire series. I love that.
Where she basically recites every interaction with her and Charlie Utter.
The post premonition.
The post premonition.
Yeah, she has a.
Oh yeah, she has a prophetic dream about past events.
Yes. Well,
don't you know this is the day that you failed to protect that little girl?
Well, it's all a lead on to her being comfortable with Joni kissing her.
Right.
But it's like, what's so lovely?
Yeah, she like buries that in there at first, and it's a little too subtle, and then she has to come back
she
around
repeats it and repeats it while being too scared to look Joni in the face.
Yeah,
Joni was too scared to look somebody in the face this episode. She was. I think she was talking to Mrs. Bullock.
Oh.
But she was looking off, and it may have been last episode. But the whole time she was talking to her, she wouldn't look her in the eye.
Yeah.
Well,
at the schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Please excuse us. We're watching these like back to back, so sometimes we forget some details of things.
Overlap. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
The speech that Jane gives, it's very complicated in terms of what she's saying, and she gets kind of confused in terms of like the past tense and the future tense.
She starts
singing "Row, row, row your boat."
She starts singing "Row, row, row your boat."
Yeah, which is incredibly funny.
And she talks about how scared she got when Swearengen first scared her in the second episode of the first season.
Said, "You don't want to interfere with me."
Yeah. And then she talks about how even on the days where she screwed up, they also saved the orphan from Swearengen and secreted her away from camp and sung row your boat to her. And then in her dream, Charlie says, "Don't you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Any evenings in your life you made mistakes. Remember where even evenings you was as most ashamed as you ever thought you could ever be are able to wind up. And don't fucking only remember the middle of the dream."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't parse that right now.
No.
I don't know exactly what she's trying to say. But what she's trying to say, I think, is that, even on the days that you think you've screwed up the most you ever had, there's still a chance at liable something good that you didn't expect to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just remember the middle of the dream where you fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
remember the end.
Remember
the outcome too, not just the mistakes.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a very hopeful message for both her and Joni, which they both feel they've done.
That's a real generous perspective there, Reverend.
They both feel they've done horribly in life, and yet they are trying to be optimistic. And
Charlie, even in her dream, is just pissing in her ear.
Pissing in her ear, even then. And he's right now standing out the window. Right
out there.
Yeah, he comes to relieve Adams.
Oh, right. There's that whole thing.
Charlie's
and then Jane makes fun of him for being Al's stooge.
Whippet boy. Yeah.
Well, no, but I really love the moment where Charlie is like talking to Al, and he's like, "I'm gonna go the Blazanov seeing Demeric's wounds."
Yeah.
And then Al's like, "Why would you say that to me?"
Yeah.
And then even as he's saying it, Charlie realizes, "Well, I'm treating you like a regular person."
Yeah.
And then he just keeps saying the phrase about Merrick and Blazanov, and then he just backs away and starts saying, "I don't take fucking orders."
Yeah. Well, get Adams back over here to do whatever nefarious.
When the fuck did we suddenly become partners? God damn it.
And he's right.
Stumbled into the wrong saloon.
Because I wouldn't imagine Charlie being... Well, he was okay that one time when they were murdering somebody. He just grabbed somebody and steered him out of the saloon. But he generally seems like the type he wouldn't be down with.
No. I honestly think that Bullock is more down with it than...
But when there's 50 fucking, at least 25 fucking dudes are in town to cause trouble and possibly usurp the entire local government.
Yeah. Alliances have to be formed.
Pick your damn side.
You're right. Yeah.
But it is like this. Everybody in the town is pretty much like, let's hang around with Swearengen. Swearengen's great. And Alma is like, he killed Alma's husband, and she's like, thank you, Mr. Swearengen.
He's the other power broker in town. That's it.
The devil, he's the dad.
It's like,
I mean, it's believable.
And you can't go with Cy because Cy is
he's always a mess.
Yeah, I mean, he's admitted that he is a dog to
he is
to money.
He's in
to
Hearst's
Hearst,
pocket.
yeah.
And not even from that. I think there's a fear that keeps him there too.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot of courage in Cy, where Al is a little more
He's not
rebellious.
He's not sure that he can fight Hearst.
Right.
And he doesn't want to die.
Right.
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's stupidity on Al's part, but Al does come across as a little more defiant.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta be a little stupid.
You gotta
to
be
want to fight that kind of guy first.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
I really like. I don't really like the moment where Al kills the white-haired dude. Like I like, it's understandable. Obviously, the guy's been built up, and Al even recites all the things that he's done.
Yeah.
But all the things that he's done are nothing compared to the things that we've seen Al do.
Right.
Like you shot at a woman.
Well, even right at the end,
but
he was like, everything I was saying, I'm just trying to butter you up and get information out of you.
Yeah. But
you
at
got
the same
anything else
time,
to say? All right, bye.
Same time, fuck that guy.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen him shoot it. We understand he shot at a woman, and we understand that he.
I don't think
he beat up Merrick.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also a Civil War veteran who served with Captain Turner, rest in peace. And he also informs rest in pepperoni.
Yeah.
Wrestle in peace.
Wrestle in peace. He's getting greased up in Valhalla right now.
Yeah. He informs Al that Turner could have killed Dan. But he held back on Hearst's instruction.
Sure, he wanted to prolong the fight.
Yeah,
right.
And I think that makes Al ring. But it's pretty gruesome where he takes this man's head and cuts his throat, and then we have this long shot of just him bleeding.
But he doesn't even make a quick show of it.
No,
he just
drags it.
Yeah, it's very strange how he just slowly drags it across his throat, like he's just enjoying it for a second, and then just drops him.
I mean, this puts pause to my hero worship of Al. I'm just like, that dude, and the guy, he goes,
no,
Mr. Swearengen, you seem like
I'm in.
Fuck that guy.
He's like, Mr. Swearengen, you seem like a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
That's what sets him off.
Yeah.
It's
like you and me ain't cool.
Yeah. Let's not pretend here. Let me kick you in the fucking balls a few times.
Let's put some misconceptions to bed right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have much time, and I'm not the host, but Chad, how much?
I'm not the fucking host.
How do you feel?
I am.
How do you feel? Yes. How do you feel about Swearengen in terms of how good he is? I would say that you're pretty high, right?
Sure. I mean, again, right now he's small business owner Swearengen, so he's
a hero to the camp.
Yeah, it's like Republicans and Democrats can agree. Small business owner, good.
Yeah. And Bullock is pretty low in your estimation.
Rich, bigwig oil man,
bad.
Can they both agree on that?
Can't agree on that part.
And Bullock or Tolliver are much lower, right?
Well, Tolliver's almost irrelevant.
Tolliver's a survivor.
Yeah, I mean he's a dog. He is a dog. Yeah. And then Hearst is Satan. Yeah, I mean we say that constantly, but
he's
it's true. Yeah, he's got too many Thetans in him.
Yeah. He needs another chiropractic visit.
Another Reiki.
I don't know if we said it online, but one of you guys, we talk a lot about the Marvel Cinematic Universe here on. Anyways,
I don't know why.
And I think Jordan made the idea that Hearst is a very similar villain to the Thanos character from the Marvel Universe.
He has a cupcake
I told you that in
chin.
confidence.
He has a cupcake chin, just like Thanos.
Cupcake chin.
But he's also vaguely.
He likes snapping.
He's a zealot.
He's a zealot.
He's a zealot. Yeah.
He
And he's seemingly all
he has
powerful.
a sense of grandiosity, and
he controls reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just an all-powerful guy who doesn't. The laws of mere mortals do not apply to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's just that he's like you said in a previous episode that there's nothing scarier than a bad guy with like convictions.
Yeah,
or principles. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's not. He's not doing this for like greed.
No,
it's like it's his destiny.
Yeah,
and you can't argue with a lunatic like that.
Die for the color.
Yeah, for all the colors on his glove.
Yeah, and he just is like Thanos. He's increasing in power. Like this is a very powerful man.
Yeah.
This is kind of the
he's got the
type of stuff he
gauntlet.
does all the time.
Yeah.
He's got he's got his Black Order. Oh.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Those are the bad guys.
We should like moonwalk out of this situation right now.
Anyway.
Is that everything?
I had the script out, not the synopsis. But
then we'll say yes.
Anyways. That's now like our catch. Like 10 years from now, when we meet in the street, we'll just say anyway.